Hi, I'm Eduarda, and I'm here to share with you my experience inside Love Addicts, which is an online therapeutical program specifically designed for people like me who live with anxious, insecure attachment. A little disclaimer: Love Addicts is not sponsoring these videos, and I'm only here to share my experience and not the contents of the program. I do hope that my journey can help someone else out there. Let's go. Okay, so in week 8, I actually started realizing, but like on a whole other level, how incredibly like unsatisfying my my past relationship had been. So, like the last relationship that I had been in, and how much a lot of the situations that I was in with this person was toxic, and sometimes because of them, sometimes because of me, but also like the level to which I abandoned myself. So, like, this is like me, like, almost like this is me, like 2 months actually, like into um, Love Addicts, where I had gone through so many ups and downs already just in life, and then, with the program supporting me. And luckily, like, I had my buddy by this point because realizing that I abandoned myself to that level, like, that kind of generates like guilt, and you start like not trusting yourself. So I went through a period where I was like, oh my God, like I can't ever be in a relationship again, because if this is what I'm going to do to myself, and if I'm going to like totally abandon myself and only like get by in life, and only prioritizing the other person, or like if I'm going to get so confused every time that I'm in a relationship, then like I might as well not be in one. So at that week, like I had those realizations, but then luckily the material inside the program like supported me, because in there you're also like thinking about who you really are, and like what is your identity attached to, and what are the core beliefs that you live by, and what are the rules that you have made for your life and for yourself. And because I was looking at all of that, I guess I was able to not stay like in the guilt and despair of having abandoned myself for so long. And I was able to slowly continue like forgiving myself, because a lot of this program for me has been about like becoming conscious of where I'm coming from, and realizing why I have had the attitudes that I've had. And like, I'm not just talking about like in this past like relationship that I keep mentioning, but in other relationships and other situations of life, like the healing that I've done through this program is like, like if we're going to present to past, it has gone like all the way to like birth, beyond birth. Like I was even like understanding things and forgiving things that happened like before I was born, to my parents, like leading up to like my existence. And it is so hard though to realize that you have not taken care of yourself, and then you're like, wow, but like what if I do this again? What if I let go of myself again? What if I like neglect myself another time? And like it feels so easy to imagine that happening, because when you meet someone and you fall in love with them, and like you're so excited about like this new person, and perhaps like they're bringing with them like a lot of things that you want, like a committed relationship, the possibility of a family, the possibility of like having a partnership, and like to go through life, and like there are so many dreams that we have that are attached to being with someone, plus all like the romance and attention that we all desire. It's so so hard, at least for me, not to get caught in all of that. I do feel now like that I am strong enough But when I was like 8 months into Love Addicts, I was like, oh my God, I can't trust myself, because now, even though I have all this knowledge from Love Addicts, even though I've done all this healing inside of Love Addicts, I am probably just gonna go off and fall in love again, and restart the cycle, and then all this knowledge is going to go out the window once I'm in love, and then I'm probably going to like sabotage another relationship. Or I would even go through moments where I was like, I am probably just like going to choose the wrong person all over again. Like, I'm going to keep like feeling attracted to people that have nothing in common with me, that are not good for me, and I'm not good for them. And then eventually that relationship is going to go downhill, and I'm going to be back here. I kept imagining like I'm going to be back here where I'm like heartbroken, and having to do all this work to come back to myself. And I really, really, really didn't want to do that again. And eventually I had to make peace with the fact that, self development is a lifelong journey, and that um, I will definitely make mistakes again, because like the only way of not making mistakes is like not doing anything. And I'm not that person. Like, I am not the person who's going to like sit alone at home and not do anything. So through the courses and all the material in Love Addicts, part of my healing in week 8 was also about learning to trust myself again, forgiving myself, understanding also why I had made the decisions that were detrimental to my own well being. So I could, like, because once you become conscious of that, I feel that it's easier to not repeat the mistake. Like, if you understand why you made a mistake, then it's so much easier not to do it again. And I started testing this out, and this was great because, like, in my interpersonal relationships, even though they're not like romantic relationships, there's still a dynamic, right? Like, there's still a give and take. Like, any relationship that we have is always going to have a give and take, and there's always going to be the necessity to set boundaries and to respect boundaries, and to get your needs and wants met, and to say no when you need to say no, and all of that. And so I started like testing my own like ability to protect myself and to set my boundaries, but at the same time like be open and like live my life to the fullest in my relationships. Like, that fine balance of like living and being open, but also pacing yourself so like it's nice and joyful. So through working like through taking the material from Love Addicts and using it in my interpersonal relationship, in my interpersonal relationships, I was like, oh, okay, so I can set a boundary, and I can ask for something that I need, and I can express a desire. Like, little by little, I sort of got there and began to trust myself again. And having my buddy where I could say, like, oh, like, this is happening in this friendship that I have, and there's like I'm trying to set this boundary, or this is happening with a family member, and like I'm feeling triggered again. Like, having that buddy, someone that really understands what you mean by like I'm getting triggered, and what you mean by like setting boundaries, because like that could mean so many things to different people, but because we're coming from like the same program, we have a vocabulary where we know exactly what the other person means, and why they're triggered. And again, like being able to like test out these theories and this knowledge that I'm getting in Love Addicts, going out into the world and having the support of Love Addicts itself, but then also of the buddy, has allowed me to trust myself again. And I honestly don't think that I would have ever come to these conclusions, and I don't think I would have become conscious of how much I abandoned myself, or how much I had lost trusting myself, unless I was going through the material in Love Addicts. Because again, like the fact that they give you like exercise upon exercise upon exercise, and that you're always like talking about the things that are going in your mind and how it's, like manifesting in your life and how it feels in your body, like this constant um learning and sharing and listening, like it has, I think, allowed me to see parts of myself and to come to realizations that I wouldn't have done just like by reading a self-help book. And I've been in therapy all this time, so it's nice that I can also have therapy where I have like one-to-one sessions with someone. But I think the thing about therapy is that, like, at least for me, like therapy is 50 minutes once a week. And then every once in a while, like it will get canceled. Every once in a while, like the session will get canceled because, it's a holiday, or because the therapist needs to cancel, or because I need to cancel for any reason. So sometimes I'll go like 2 weeks, or like over the holidays, it was like 3, 4 weeks without a therapy session. But like Love Addicts is always there. And once you have a buddy, like if that's a good buddy, like I was lucky to have one, like have a person who's really good, like that person is always there for you. And that constant support begins to first of all give you a sense of safety that usually I think people with anxious insecure attachment don't quite get. Or at least for me, like because I realized like my insecurity is of sometimes not feeling like physically safe and emotionally safe and not feeling supported. So like having a community and having a buddy, like, and the fact that I've been in these things now for months because I extended my time in Love Addicts, like have given me a sense of tranquility and calm from having that support that I don't usually get from anything else, except like maybe my mom, but she's like only one person. As where like having a buddy and having the community, you like have so many people supporting you and to talk to, but you're also like giving support, which means that like it's a really good way of feeling supported and feeling strong at the same time. um so yeah, so in this week I had this moment of like, ooh, maybe I can't be trusted. But luckily, being in the program brought me back to myself, and I found that trust again. And now that trust is something that I keep working on. I keep remembering that like I need to be consistent with myself and keep showing up to myself. And I have actually like consistently been there for myself now for months. And that has made such a big difference to how I feel day to day, how much better I feel. Also, even when I have my low moments, how I can get through that with so much more ease because I have my own back, because like my cup is full. So, like, when things do happen that are unpleasant, or when I am like tired or triggered or busy or stressed, how much easier it is to go through negative emotions or difficult moments when you have your own back and when you trust yourself. So that is like one very big shift that I have felt being in this program. And it's something like I even have like an affirmation on my phone because this has become so paramount that I'm like, okay, I need to always remember to be consistent with myself, because when I am, I can handle everything that comes my way. Great. See you in the next video.